Hi guys, welcome to Crazy Burger. So I thought I would make a video regarding the announcement that Blaze released yesterday. I wasn't necessarily going to do one, but there's enough buzz about it that it makes sense to maybe get some discussion going regarding the moving of NEO GEO Arcade 1 release date to August from July and pushing the pre-orders out as well. Hopefully this situation will sort itself out. But anyway, let's get stuck into the details and we'll try and get a little bit of discussion going and my thoughts on this matter. Okay, so a fairly straightforward announcement, and obviously a lot of people are really excited for NEO GEO Arcade 1. I've certainly seen a lot more people coming to the channel that obviously haven't been part of the Evercade sort of community before, and they're really interested in what Blaze are doing with NEO GEO. And I think there'll probably be a few carts at the end of the day, but they've took the decision to move the pre-order date of the cartridge to the end of May. I think it was initially going to be May 1st when the pre-orders were going to be up, which is actually next week. So they've moved that to allow everyone as much opportunity as possible to pre-order the new cartridge and allow further updates to the current US tariffs and import duties, which is causing havoc across the world. It's not necessarily just a Blaze issue, this is an issue for so many people. But they've obviously made the choice here to move the release date of the cartridge to August instead of July. And obviously this will release as part of another cart as well, I'm assuming. But anyway, they apologise and hope that you obviously don't mind waiting a little bit longer. We also know that many fans in the US are querying the availability of Evercade products in the region. We have recently signed a new distribution deal for the US and Canada, and we hope, upon resolution of the current tariff situation, that we can improve Evercade availability in the US going forward. Now, stock has been a little bit of a problem in the last few months. I'm not really sure that we're talking about the same thing here, but I think they've really struggled to meet with demand since Christmas releases of like Data East Arcade 2, Tour Plan Arcade 3 and 4. Stock really has been a massive problem. There are a lot of people trying to get hold of Tour Plan Arcade 3 and struggling to get it. And that's not necessarily a US issue, it's an issue everywhere. And they have had stock in, maybe they've had stock replenishments a few times, but I think due to the demand, they are really struggling. But anyway, the US and Canada issue, I noticed quite a lot of times in the last sort of month, there's been issues regarding the pricing that's been put up in some of the distribution that's part of Canada and the US, and it's been a bit of a mess. The pricing has been all over the place. I don't think the distributors know exactly what price to charge, and it's creating a bit of an issue, I guess, for customers. And then I think some of the sort of suppliers were removing Evercade from their website, then causing even more confusion to the users, or obviously the consumers out there that are buying all the Evercade stuff. So a little bit of a different issues going on, but the tariff situation is an absolute mess. That's obviously, I think for UK it was 10% of all goods going into the US, but then it was paused, I think, for 90 days or something. But it's an absolute mess, and I'm pretty sure, I don't think Blaze send their stuff direct from China to the US. Obviously that would be a heck of a lot worse with the pricing, so I'm assuming Blaze will just ship all their stock to the UK and then send it wherever it needs to go around the world from there. Which hopefully that is the case, because then it's just one sort of charge. But it is an absolute mess of a situation, and I guess Blaze don't want to have the situation where the prices are fluctuating all over the place, and the suppliers don't exactly know what to charge, and then we change it when the deal gets changed or something changes in a few weeks or a few months time. They need to sort of change all those prices, and it just becomes an absolute mess. So I understand the situation, although it's a bit of a pain that, why should everyone else suffer outside the US? And no offence to anyone that's watching from the US, why should everyone else have to put up with that? And then that's probably down to sort of scalping all these carts, because no doubt if that was the situation, we'd get into a point where scalpers would probably try and purchase the NEO GEO Arcade cart, and before you know it, they're on, all of the stock is on eBay, and then your US customers are basically going to have to be forced to paying silly prices for this cart. So I guess we're trying to avoid these type of situations that cause a lot of these problems, and customers then get really frustrated, and a lot of times maybe customers will probably get frustrated and move away from Evercade. That's not what Blaze want. So they're trying their best to resolve the situation as best as they can without causing any issues. It's probably the best thing they can do right now until the situation resolves itself or becomes more clear what the tariffs are going to be. Is it going to be a straight 10%? Is that going to be removed? Is some other deal going to come into place? It's such a mess now. Again, this isn't necessarily a Blaze issue. I noticed, like, for instance, the Anbernic stopped shipping stock to the US as well. Obviously, going from China to the US, the charges were just getting insane, and it just didn't make sense for them to be selling in that market at present. Now, obviously, there is stock in some of the distribution places in the US, so that if you see that, you can still buy at present, but once that stock goes away, Blaze are not going to replenish that until the situation makes itself a lot clearer, and then obviously we can resume business again. So once that stock goes, I'm afraid there will be no more replenishment until this situation sorts itself out. So a little bit of a nightmare situation for Blaze. I'm not sure which market is their most important. I mean, they're all important markets, of course. I was assuming perhaps the Europe market is probably the biggest. In the US is something I guess they're trying to crack as best as they can and get as much sales. I've no idea what the sales are, I'm just making some assumptions. I think the Evercade Alpha maybe brought some more folks on board from the US, but yeah, an absolute mess of a situation. And again, don't feel bad or don't get angry at Blaze, because it's not really their fault. I've seen so many other sort of different parts of the world and different sort of spectrums of sort of purchasing is affected by this. It's an absolute messy situation. Hopefully it will sort itself out soon and we can resume. Again, we will have a nice thing to look forward to at the end of May regarding the 5th year anniversary of Evercade, and there's a lot of plans on board for this. There'll be a lot of announcements and there's a lot of things to happen. I'm assuming there's going to be a heck of a lot of stuff released towards the last part of 2025, which is going to make things very, very busy indeed. I think Blaze definitely love the stress, you would assume. Obviously, I'm joking. They seem to love the stress of putting so much into the last part of the month. But yeah, it's certainly going to be a busy period. Hopefully this resolves itself fairly quickly and it doesn't get worse, because this isn't good for anybody at all. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts on this. I don't think Blaze have much else they can really do. It really is their only choice at the moment until things become a little bit clearer. Again, thanks very much for watching. We'll catch you again in the next one. Bye for now.